Okay, this is take two, y'all. Anyway, today I am working basically on this hive here, this little small hive. I got this as a nucleus in April of this year, and she's really not been doing very well since I got her. When I first got her, I figured she must have been a newly mated queen because she hadn't started laying, and then I gave her time to lay. She was laying, but not really all that great. So then I gave her eggs several times out of the two hives there on the end, and she just never really did anything. And so now here I am late into the year, hoping that she would be a better queen, but she has not turned out to be. She's still marked. So now I'm in a kind of a bad situation with her. She's laying very sporadically. Maybe, I think I saw maybe 10 capped brood cells in this hive. And I'm going to open it up in a minute and let you see what's going on in there. So what I did basically is that hive there was in this position here. So I've scooted that one down and I moved this small one here into that location in hopes that when those foragers that are out return, they come and help boost these numbers. And as you can see, they're a little bit confused as to how to get into that hive. And so I just literally did it maybe 5 minutes ago. But I'm going to go over here now and open it up and let you see how many bees are not in that hive. And then when I do an update, sorry about that chainsaw, guys. But when I go to do an update later, we'll see how this hive has either survived or not survived. I'm hoping not to have to combine her with another hive going into the winter. I have faith that she's going to be okay because those two there are my hives, or two of the hives that came through winter. But those were my two weakest hives, and they came through winter about the size of, they had enough bees about the size of a baseball, particularly Leilani. She was really bad off. Sugarfoot on the end was not much better, so I've given each of them at different times eggs and larvae from the other, and they have really thrived, and they were really good honey producers this year. But this one here that I just got this year in April is not really doing all that great. It's now about August 23rd, and she just really hasn't proven herself to me. And the other nukes that I got from the same place I got her, they weren't all that great either. And so I look at that as a lesson learned. But anyway, you live and you learn, and I'm going to go ahead and get this hive opened up. And hopefully you guys can hear me, and I apologize about that. But every time I come out to work at the bee yard, looks like someone there works in the yard. But anyway, let's get in there so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Give me 1 minute here. Okay, I'm going to try to do this. Oh. Holding this. So, can't really see it that great. I am feeding them, and I have put pollen patty on it as well. But if you look in there, oh guys, the sun is in my eyes, so I can't really see well. See, there's not a whole lot of bees. And yes, I've had her in a nuke box. I've had her in a mini nuke. I've had her in everything. She goes up inside and she goes down. At one time, this hive was thriving, and I decided not to move her to a smaller box again. She's going to do what she's going to do, or she's not going to do what she's going to do. I'm just really tired of fooling with this hive. Also, if you notice, the Swiffer sheets that I have in here for the small hive beetles, oh, there's an ant. But because of the way that I have the entrance modified, this hive has never had any small hive beetle problems. Actually, I've never even seen a small hive beetle in it. Hold on, guys, let me get that back together and I'll show you what I'm talking about. As weak as this hive is, if there was ever a small hive beetle problem, they would have been, this hive would have been obliterated by now. But you see what I did here, or actually what my husband did, is put that elbow joint on there for the bees to go in and out. And from what I've been researching, it appears that small hive beetles can't hover. And so in order to get into that hive, they have to hover to get into that pipe there. Now, if you'll notice, I do have a small opening here, very small, and I just did that to help the other bees who are returning from foraging from that hive there to get into the hive and hopefully get those frames filled up and help get her motivated prayerfully to start laying again. Lord, I'm trying to get my gloves off so I can make this picture smaller, y'all. Hold on 1 minute again. Sorry about that shake and shakes, y'all. But anyway, that is my little experimental hive. I have another one. Hold on, I gotta fix it. I'm using my camera phone, so it's kind of hard to record and do the things I'm trying to do at the same time. And I'm trying to get my gloves back on. Okay, sorry about that. So, Lord, I lost my train of thought. Okay, anyway, so this hive here was my swarm hive, and they are very, very, very hygienic. If you see here, they're cleaning stuff out now. Over here where they were at, this is a bunch of wax paper on the floor from the pollen caddy I had given them, and they just tore that stuff up and got it out of their hive. These here are doing really well as well. Not really dealing with them today. Everybody seems pretty laid back. Nobody's coming after me. That wasn't the case a few weeks ago when I robbed their honey stores. But I'm just gonna watch this one for a little while and see how these bees do as far as coming back to this hive, and I'll probably check on it tomorrow or later this evening to see actually if my little experiment worked, but they seem to be going in. And it doesn't seem to be any fighting or anything, so hopefully the other bees and the queen accept these little babies into their hive, and let them help build that back up. Alright, so I think it's been long enough that I have taken up your time. So check back with me maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'll give them a couple of days before I really come back out here and see how they're doing. Right now, like I said, there's still some that seem a little confused. But I did try to leave their opening to the right side, just like it was here. You see here, the opening was to the right side. It was a little larger because there's a lot more bees in there that can defend that hive. But I did take this one down, and they do seem to be coming back to it. And if you notice over here, there aren't many bees at all coming into this hive. So I think this one is going to be all right with lost. Matter of fact, I'm going to open this one up so that you can see how many bees is in this one. Bear with me. So, as you can see here, this hive is full. So they can afford to lose a few bees to that other hive. I mean, they are just really loaded down in this hive. And so they're working on this top honey super right now. But I'm going to use this to feed that weaker hive that we just looked at. I'm going to take whatever they do in this top box here, I'm going to use it to feed the smaller box over there for the winter. I've taken all the honey I'm going to take from them this year, which is why you'll see in here that they're getting, I had some marshmallows that I was using when I was making my queens. I was using to put into their cages so they would have to eat marshmallows to get out. So I had a bunch of them left and they were starting to turn a little colors on me, so I thought I would put it in the hive and give the bees some treats. And they seem to be really enjoying that marshmallow there. And you'll notice too, you don't see small hive beetles in this hive either. And that's not because of the modification, because there's no modification on the front of this hive. This is because this is a very strong hive, and it's very hygienic, very hygienic. So I guess I better shut this one back up because the flies are starting to get attracted to the marshmallow that I have in there. But I just wanted you to see, this is 2 deeps and a medium, excuse me, and it's absolutely full. But I wanted you to see that. I compared both of those hives. Oh, shoot. It's so heavy, y'all. This right here is an old cookie jar. Creative. A little cement in there. And voila. We have the back is broken. I dropped it. But anyway, we have a cute little bear that sits on top of the hive. And actually, me breaking it was a good thing. So when water gets in there, it doesn't stay. It just pours out the back. Again, we'll go down here and show you there's not much bee activity because there wasn't much for Christine when she was over here. But what I'm hoping is once the babies or the brood starts hatching and start flying out, then those bees will continue to come back to this hive. And I hope in the meantime that it's not to the detriment of this hive, because I will really, I'm feeling hurt if something happens to this hive. This is really and truly the best hive that I have on grounds because all the other ones were purchased. This is the only swarm that I have on grounds this year, I think. Yeah, this is the only swarm that I have on grounds. All the rest of my bees had been purchased or swarm catches from the bees that I had purchased. So definitely, I think, in my opinion, swarm catchers are the best bees that you can get, and those right here have really proven themselves. I got tons and tons of honey off of that hive right there. Let's go back over here to Christine, see how she's doing. And it seems like there's still no fighting. The bees are going in. And once they get settled, you see they're still bringing in pollen. Once they get settled, I'll give them a couple of days. Then I may close that hole back up. Not sure yet. And just make them use the elbow joint. If I start to see hive beetles in this hive, I will close that small hole back up and and force them back into using that elbow joint like the original bees in Christine's hive was doing. As you can see, we have plastic here. You can see the bees coming in and out of that hole right there. But that is the entrance that the bees in Christine have been used to using. Okay, I've talked for another 5 minutes and I meant to cut this thing off before it got too far. So that is my update for my troubled hive, Christine. And I'm hoping I can get her built up before winter. All right, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Oh. All right, I can't turn my camera off because I have on gloves, so once again, thanks for watching. I'm really out this time.